this works for the sedum where I put them. This one's just kind of tucked back behind the salvia. I really like that combination. It's just kind of easy care plants chunked together. And then the euphorbia, like I showed you, is right there. And then the other sedum is right here next to the nepeta. I'm a little nervous just because this is kind of a spot where the dogs like to enter into the garden, and as much as I don't want them to do that, they might still try and might break the sedum. I'm also a little nervous about the one that's over there because deer do like sedum, so they might nibble on that. I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm thinking that one for right there, and then I was going to put one right here, but it was bothering me that it was so high right there in the front. So I think I'll look for something else for right there. And if I do want to sedum, then I could definitely get one that's lower growing than these ones. So I did like the combination of it right there, but we'll see. We'll see what we could find for right there. But then the other sedum is over here tucked back behind the euphorbia. This one I also wasn't totally sure because the coloration on the stems is a little too similar, I don't know, to the buddleia. So I don't know. I think I'll get in the ones that I'm for sure on, such as the yarrow and the euphorbias, and definitely the nepeta. I think I'll just go ahead and start right here because these were the ones that I was absolutely the most sure on. And then I'll just kind of make my way around and get the rest in the ground. everything would go, about everything in the ground, not without a little bit of challenges, as always, of just, I don't know, spacing and digging holes and redigging holes and rethinking things. But I think everything is in a good spot. All the perennials, I'm really happy with where they are, and I think that they're a really pretty combination. And again, like I was when I was planting in the shrubs and I was thinking about these perennials, I was thinking through what else would look super pretty in this garden. And I know I keep saying I'm going to be moving other things into this bed, so I need to rein it in, but I have a few things such as grasses and one other shrub that I'm thinking about, and we'll see if we can make that happen. But anyway, let me show you where all of the perennials ended up. Got them all watered in. I think that they're happy and looking really pretty. All right, again, don't mind the hose. It's on a slow drip to one of the shrubs that we planted in recently. But as you can see, here are the Nepeta, which I ended up scooting over a little bit after I initially planted them, because as you can see when I step back, I guess I really kind of wanted them to be at the point of the curve, and they were initially kind of shifted over. And you know, once they grow in, they will be just one big mass like these right here, so you wouldn't even be able to see the individual plants. But I just figured I might as well scoot them over while it's easy to do, and they weren't rooted in or anything, so better just to do it now while I was there planting. So next to that again is the Euphorbia, and then I changed up this little spot as well. I was gonna put one of the sedums right up there, but I thought I kind of liked this effect a little bit better, just because these Yarrow will get kind of tall. And so this awards us a space to put in, something a little bit lower growing right there in front of those 3 Yarrow. So 2 on this side and 2 on that side. And I just really loved the color combination between the Lo and Behold purple haze and then this Yarrow down here. Just think that those flowers are so sweet, especially, I mean, when you get up really close to them and you see the individuals, it's easy to stand back and look at them kind of as one mass flower, but even individually on each of those little platforms, it's super, super pretty. So anyway, there's 3 down there and then 1 more Euphorbia right down there. Okay, and then right down here we have a sedum, which right now compared to the hydrangea looks a little silly because their height difference, but you have to think ahead, and I had to keep reminding myself of this as I was planting, of what the long term is for these plants, these shrubs specifically. Obviously the hydrangea is going to be considerably taller than the sedum, so right now it may look a little off, but eventually they will right themselves and they will look correct. So right on the other side then of this Nepeta, this little smaller growing Nepeta, is another one of the sedum. So if I pull back, you can see 3 Nepeta and then sedum flanking the curve on each end. And then right down here we have the salvia, which is out of bloom, but it still has a little bit of a pink tinge to the calyx, which I think kind of just keeps it looking as if it is in bloom. And compared to what I have in my garden, these are just baby plants. They were obviously in sort of large containers. I think they were 8-inch, which they consider, it's a little bit bigger than 1 gallon, a little bit smaller than 2 gallon, but big plants, pretty good root system, but these are babies. They're going to get so much bigger and so much more full even by next year. So I'm really excited to see those ones fill in. And then also another of the 3 sedums. So we have the 1 sedum, 2, 3, and obviously I'm kind of following the design rule, I guess, of having mostly 3s, except for here, there's 4. But obviously I planted in 3 Euphorbia, 3 of the Concord Barberry, 3 of these Nepeta. Not exactly doing that on purpose, but maybe it's kind of stuck in my head thinking that I need to do that, with the exception obviously of the large shrubs. But that is just one of the design rules that I have a hard time, I guess, getting away from. When I'm shopping for things, I tend to grab 3, at least if it's a perennial. That's what I do. So anyway, really loving how this garden is coming along. I hope you guys are enjoying seeing the process of kind of my thought process and my process of putting the garden together. Obviously there's not really any right or wrong way to do this, other than obviously your zone and that they like the light requirements. But otherwise, I'm just trying to kind of figure out what I like best and what I think works for the space. So anyways, that is going to do it for me for today. My little guy just asked me if I wanted to go to the pond, and so yes, we are going to do that, and we're going to enjoy the rest of our day, and I hope you do too. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye.